The Super Mario Galaxy movie came out, and it was really, really bad. I've seen a lot of defenders of the movie over the past week, and some of these are the worst attempts to defend the movie that I've ever seen. It's funny, yet baffling some of the things I've seen people say to defend the movie. Now, I've already talked about the kids movie defense that people seem to think is a good argument for some reason. I don't need a Lord of the Rings level story for it to be good. The Spider-Verse movies aren't exactly on the level of Lord of the Rings, but they're still great movies. It's such a lame response to criticism, and it just encourages laziness. It's a kids movie, so we shouldn't expect quality storytelling? Since when did a movie being for kids mean it had to suck? Why should people even try when it comes to making these movies if everyone made fanboy defenses like this? And what's ironic about this is that I've seen Mario fanboys try to defend it by saying the movie relies on their nostalgia for the games they've grown up with as a positive, and if you didn't like this movie, then you just had a bad childhood. What I think is really going on here is that the Mario fandom doesn't know which angle of cope they're gonna use, so they're kinda just throwing everything they can. I've also seen people actually praise this movie by saying things like this. If something like this is a serious reason you praised this movie, then you don't actually have any standards. This provides no discussion on the plot, the characters, things that, actually matter about a movie. All it does is complain about minority groups that they don't like, and determine if a movie is good based on if they're involved in it. Who in their right mind actually reviews movies this way? Please forgive me for being happy that we don't have to deal with evil ideologies like wokeism being put in Super Mario.
What? What are you, stupid? What are you talking about?
You see what I mean? This is just political brain rot. This has nothing to do with the story, the visuals, or anything that actually matters. Oh, the movie made a lot of money, therefore it's actually good? Yeah, I haven't seen that one before. Stories are optional. Stories are optional now in a visual storytelling medium. That's great, that's wonderful.
Is that wrong?
Okay, well, let's see some of the comments on my Super Mario Galaxy review. In the games, if you get hit with a mini mushroom, you die. You don't grow bigger. You need a mushroom to bring you back to normal. Okay, so this was a common response I've seen regarding how Bowser could just take damage and become big again. The problem is that that's how it works in the movie. Bowser's plan is reliant on someone hitting him so he grows big again. So he could just leave the castle and either provoke some random person into hitting him, or jump off the building to take a hit. Bro, you're taking it too seriously. No one cares about the logistics of Rob the Robot and his slow turns in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Well, I care about the logistics when the joke is unfunny and it's being dragged on because of how slow the robot is, for some reason. That Sonic tangent tells me so much about how you were going to review this movie. How are you failing this bad at critiquing Bowser? Like, did you actually pay attention to the movie, which is why you're repeating mostly fair points, or are you just jumping on a bandwagon like it's obvious that everything he did was serious due to his interactions with Luigi, and even more obvious he's regretful over his son's mistreatment and is really angry at Peach for leaving at the altar, which is why he's not obsessed anymore. Yes, I know Bowser was sincere about changing. That's the problem. I said as such in the video. He is sincere, and the movie doesn't explain why he wants to change. Nothing significant happened to justify why he changed.
I recognize the council has made a decision, but given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I've elected to ignore it.
And the first time we see Bowser in the movie, he's still shown to be obsessing over Peach, so you're not even correct. Why are you linking world hunger to a Mario movie? I know how this sounds, but those complaints actually have validity to them. Why are you taking this movie so ridiculously seriously? It's like saying, guys, why doesn't Sonic try using the super form more in the movies? He could solve so many problems, especially when the oath says we need to use the powers for good. Sonic is so selfish for that. The reason I brought up how Rosalina and Peach could solve world hunger is because the powers they have come with implications. Just because it's a Super Mario Galaxy movie doesn't mean you shouldn't think about the implications of the things you establish in the world. I mean, that's the whole idea behind world building. You have to account for the things that you establish in your fictional universe. The whataboutism with Supersonic is nonsensical because they explained in the movie that the Master Emerald is only used as a last resort because of how powerful and therefore how dangerous it can be. Did you watch it?
It sounds like this plan would work a heck of a lot better if Sonic used the Master Emerald to go Golden God mode to get the key.
The Master Emerald is too powerful to ever use again. We made a promise to each other to keep it hidden.
In a location only Knuckles knows.
Am I the only one who did the reading?
They really don't have time for that though. At the timestamp, I make a point about how nothing is done with Yoshi's character, and there isn't a story told with his character. And the response to that is that they don't have time? So they don't have the time to give Yoshi a character, but they have the time to give an unnecessary intro to Star Fox when he's not necessary in the movie. They have the time for an unnecessary subplot with Mario and Luigi being turned into babies. They have time for a Mario Bros montage that doesn't add to the story. If the argument is gonna be that they don't have time to give character to Yoshi, then maybe the movie should have made better uses of its time. What do you mean Fox has no narrative purpose? They needed a pilot, so he's a pilot. That's not a narrative purpose. A narrative purpose would be if Fox's character were to add anything to the narrative, like the ideas the movie is presenting or any influence on the characters. Star Fox doesn't have a reason to be here other than fan service, which makes his 1-minute intro a complete waste of time since he's not an important character. Okay, after watching the video, I can fully debunk how bad or intellectually dishonest this review is. The film prioritizes fan service and marketing Nintendo products over creating a compelling and cohesive narrative. Off the bat, I know you're not talking about this movie because the fan service clearly isn't just a reference. Fox McCloud, for example, was the only reason narratively they could reach Bowser's planet, and I don't want to hear the they could have chosen anyone else argument because no one in Mario, other than Mario in Galaxy 2 and Rosalina or Bowser's Army, knows how to consistently drive a spaceship or space travel as much as Star Fox, which makes it consistent and cohesive enough for me, and I don't see what's fan service about a movie that's clearly about reconnecting with the past or finding your true self. You're telling me that Star Fox is the only pilot in the galaxy? His character is first seen at a spaceport, which implies that numerous characters are capable of traveling through space. This is not exclusive to Star Fox. The spaceport is crowded with people utilizing it. How do you think many of those people got there? If we're going to shove in a character introduction to him and give him this much screen time, then there should be a better reason other than he's a pilot. Does he add to the ideas presented by the story? Is he given actual character work to justify why we're following him? Or is he just an advertisement for the Star Fox franchise? The answer is pretty obvious. The film fails significantly in storytelling and character development. How? Luigi and Toad have actual fighting action and do extremely well. Luigi literally helps with every fight Mario gets in with Bowser Jr. Also, Peach literally learns about her past and she trusts Mario. On top of that, she and Mario literally fight and platform together. You're insane if you think that's a downgrade from the first movie, because even if we argue that the story is non-existent, saying there's no development shows you actually didn't pay attention to the story. Also, Yoshi is the literal reason the Mario Bros didn't die as babies, or the reason Mario can do all his tasks before Bowser Jr. arrived. Hell, he's the reason Kamek didn't do anything in that mech, so to say Yoshi of all characters lacks substance is pretty disingenuous if not intellectually dishonest. As for the storytelling, well, you should take into consideration this is a movie about two sisters who have been separated for decades reconnecting to stop the evil of a father and a son. Okay, what? Luigi and Toad having fighting action is not character work. If the only thing you could tell me about their characters is that they get into fights, then you're essentially admitting that these aren't fleshed out characters. They're just action figures. Peach learning about her past is the most they try to do to have some character work, but they do nothing with her actually learning the information. She barely has a conversation about it with Rosalina, and again, mentioning that Mario and Peach fight alongside each other isn't saying anything about their characters. Having characters fight on screen is not character work. Establishing traits and using this to build conflict or drive character journeys is doing character work, because you actually learn more about these characters on a personal level, and this results in progression of a story, and this helps the story get its messages across. Throwing in action scenes doesn't amount to character work. The same issue is present with this defense for Yoshi. Again, if all you can tell me about Yoshi is that he helped them win fights, then you're not outlining anything substantial with his character. You're just highlighting that he was involved in action scenes, which again, reduces him to an action figure rather than a fleshed out character. This movie has a few plot holes, except the only reason he did escape to begin with was because everyone else was running from the castle. Also, saying Mario and Luigi are his only security shows you didn't watch the last movie's mid-credit scene, where Toad was literally there confronting him for being loud. But let's ignore all of that. Bowser clearly was actually changing before Jr. manipulated him into regressing as a character, because his son is more important to him than anything. As for Rosalina being overpowered by Bowser Jr., what's stopping Bowser Jr. from having the proper materials to nullify Rosalina while using her universal abilities for the Boomsday Machine? This is like calling the first movie bad because Kamek overpowered Peach very similarly, given what Galaxy established and what the first movie was clearly alluding to. Bowser shouldn't need everyone else to run from the castle to escape because of their bad security. That's the point being made. And pointing to the post-credit scene shot your defense straight in the foot, because you know what that scene establishes that the Super Mario Galaxy movie forgot? The fact that Bowser is literally in a cage, so there's no way he could get out if the Toad here was to turn his back. This is basic, common sense security, which the next movie doesn't have. All you did here was make the plot hole even bigger.
Good job.
I know that Bowser is actually changing. I acknowledged this in the video. Did you watch it? That is my exact problem with the movie. He shouldn't have changed so easily without an explanation. Having characters change randomly isn't good storytelling. That's forcing developments for the sake of the plot. Also, Bowser's son clearly is not more important to him than anything else if he was literally a neglectful father. Bowser was clearly more interested in conquering as much as he could. Now, I don't know what you're responding to regarding Rosalina. My point about her being overpowered at first is that they showed us later that she could use her magic to break out, leading to the question as to why she couldn't just do that earlier when she was still on her planet. These defenses were so bad, it made my brain shut down, so I had to pause the production of this video. The amount of nonsense in this comment was incredible, and probably a good place to stop before I fully lose my mind. Thank you all for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to watch my Super Mario Galaxy movie review if you haven't already, or any other reviews I've made, and feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed them. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.